Hi, my name's Sarah, and this is my story. This all started in the summer of 2005. The summer right before I was going to start my senior year at Pittman High School in Turlock, California, where I was born and raised. That summer I had just lots of medical issues going on where I didn't do anything for weeks because I was just weak and the doctors really didn't tell me what was going on. My liver enzymes were elevated, but he just thought it was mono. I was diagnosed with the whole high school, oh, she's got mono. So that's what they just said at that time, that I had gotten mono. The night before school, it was in September, I was complaining of really bad back pain and leg itch. My legs were itching, and we just thought maybe it's just something from that summer previously, just something happening again. I remember my dad saying, "Are you okay to go to school tomorrow?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine," because that night my friends were over and I was hanging out with them. I was like, "Oh no, I'm fine." Plus, I hated missing school anyway, so I was like, "No, I'm going to school." So that morning he even asked again, "Are you okay to go to school?" I'm so stubborn, yeah, I'm fine. My back was still hurting me and I was having a weird leg itch, but I was like, nah, I'm fine. Went to school. Everything was fine. No one had mentioned anything to me, except by fourth period, my history teacher, Miss Pearson, actually stopped teaching her class and said, "Sarah, are you okay? Because you do not look good." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong." She's like, "Go to the bathroom because you look a little yellow." And I was like, "Yellow?" She's like, "No, really, go." I went to the bathroom. I remember they had these weird mirrors where they were up, elevated above you. So I remember I was looking and I kept looking. I'm like, I don't see what she sees. I don't know what she's talking about. But it did give me that feeling of nervousness and I was kind of scared. So I went back and sat down in my desk. I remember turning over to my friend, "Do I look yellow? Do I look yellow? Do I look yellow?" I kept asking everyone if I looked yellow, and they were telling me, yeah. They're like, "Your eyes look a little yellow and your skin doesn't look that good." And I'm like, whatever. I ignored it. Go to my next class. Soon as I walk in, my teacher goes, "Sarah, you do not look good. Are you okay?" And I remember when she asked me that, I started crying. I don't know why I started crying. I'm emotional and sensitive because I think maybe I felt that something is seriously going on because everyone's telling me I look yellow. I told her I was fine and I said I was going to finish out the day. She told me, "No, you need to go home." One of the guys that works at the campus drove over in his golf cart because they didn't want me to walk. Got in the golf cart, took me to the office. Both of my parents were at work, but they were called and they were informed that your daughter doesn't look well. She's jaundiced. So they called my brother Eric, my older brother, to come pick me up. He came and picked me up. My mom had told him, "You need to take her straight to the hospital." So my brother took me straight to the hospital. We waited there, and if I recall, my aunt came in too to wait with us. My dad and my mom finally got there. We were waiting to be called back. They ran tests to figure out what was going on with me. My mom had said I was literally just withering away in front of their eyes. They had diagnosed me with Wilson's disease. Wilson's disease is a rare genetic disease. 1 in 30,000 people get it. So my mom and dad both have that bad gene and it'll get passed to your kids, and it's when copper doesn't filter through your body right, and copper is in your foods you eat, drinks, food, vitamins. It'll just sit there and it'll poison your body, poison your liver, your eyes, and your brain. And as they were doing these tests, I remember they were looking in my eyes, because with Wilson's disease you can get like a copper ring around your eyes. I didn't have that, so I believe one of the doctors had ruled that out. So those doctors said, your daughter needs to go to San Francisco where they can help her more. I think my parents were kind of like in disbelief. I had to get an ambulance to San Francisco. I never got scared. At that moment, I wasn't scared, because I think I really didn't realize what was going on. But I remember riding in the ambulance. I remember the paramedics were very comforting, making sure I was okay. I remember also I got to look out the window and I saw my parents like right behind me, and that was extremely comforting for me. We got there. I believe there's when they had told my mom and dad, your daughter needs a liver transplant. I think my mom was in some serious disbelief, like, no, I don't, maybe it's just like a gallstone. No, she needs a liver transplant. You need to sign these papers so we can get her on the list. So during the time of waiting, I was on oxygen and dialysis. I had IVs in both arms. I had a PICC line. I don't really remember exactly what everything was, but I remember I had a line right here, I had a line right here, I had IVs in my arms. I would say one of the worst things though from being in the hospital is when they had to put the tube up my nose to feed me, I guess, because I guess wasn't eating enough, and I was like, please, please, I'll eat, but I wasn't. So I remember getting that tube, and I remember like gaining like 60 pounds in the matter of like 30 days, but I think I was retaining fluid. I believe I was on some steroids to help, and the tube, and it was just so uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. And I remember the first time where I had enough strength to like get up and go use the restroom, and I saw myself in the mirror. To me, it did not look at me. It was, to me, it may sound shallow, but it was a traumatic experience to see myself and puffy and just not looking how, you know, I last remember myself, but you know what, when it comes down to it, that stuff, it doesn't matter. I remember I broke down though. That's when I think I realized what was going on. I remember breaking down in that bathroom and just crying, and I think that's the moment where it hit me, where I was sick and I needed a transplant. The amazing thing is though, I only waited about 2 weeks for my transplant. As I read stories about other people that are waiting on the list forever, it's crazy, and I'm super fortunate and super blessed that I had received a life-saving surgery like so fast. I had my transplant September 26th of 2005. I remember going in to surgery, my family being there as I was getting like rolled into surgery. I remember hearing their voices. I remember hearing them say, "We love you, Sarah, I love you, Sarah, you got this." And then I was going in feeling like pretty good about the surgery. For some reason, I never got, I guess, scared. I don't know, I just didn't think anything bad about it. I thought, yes, let's do this. But I remember going in, and I remember seeing my mom cry. But then the waterworks happened. I had a feeling, I knew everything was going to be okay. Like everything was going to be fine. I remember going into the room, it's cold, and you know, they have you count down. I remember waking up. The thing is, my parents never left my side, never. I always had them right by me the whole time. And I remember the one time when I woke up from surgery, I can't talk because they have tube down your throat and stuff, I was able to like write with my finger, try to tell them what I wanted to say with my finger. And like the first thing I asked, this is so weird, it was like, can I see it? I wanted to see my liver. I don't know what that was all about, but that was the first thing I said. I also remember waking up one time, and this is like, I'm not mad, I'm not, but I remember like no one was there by me. I remember I started crying because I was by myself, but you know what? Like, they were with me literally the entire time. Like, they needed a break too. But that just shows me how important, you know, your family is. Just that one little moment, I was like lost. It really showed the love and support of your family and friends. I had friends that were coming up to visit me all the time. So I had the transplant. I don't know how many days after it was, but I got to go live in a little apartment across the street from the hospital, just so they can keep track and tabs on you to make sure your liver's doing okay, because you can go through rejection. So I had to get, you know, blood work done every day. And as much as I hated the hospital and I wanted to get out, as soon as I got out, that's when I got a little nervous. I felt safe in the hospital because I knew there was people there that were helping me stay alive. And not being connected to the IVs and actually walking across the street and knowing, like, you know, you're not kind of surrounded by doctors or anything like that, it got me a little bit nervous. But it was an experience to be able to be in that apartment. And when I was finally able to like walk down the street and go to little shops in San Francisco, it was like it was super nice. I was there at the apartment, I think, for a few weeks. I think a few weeks after the transplant. I got to go home in October sometime. I don't know the exact date, but I got to go home in October, and then I started back school in November. Even when I was gone in the hospital, people were sending me things. They were making flyers at my school. They even held a benefit concert to kind of raise money for the medical expenses and stuff. And that I will forever cherish that forever. I want to be helpful. I want to be giving as much as I can be, because I feel like I have this second chance at life. When it comes down to it, you really don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring, because there I was, a normal senior girl hanging out with her friends, and the next day, liver failure. It's just crazy how life can be sometimes. Even though the hospital was such a horrible experience, it's a moment that I will actually cherish forever. I love my family a lot. I love my friends a lot. It showed me compassion, and I think sometimes the world we live in now can lack some compassion, but I know it's out there. I'm forever now on medication, but compared to like other stuff out there, I'm okay with it. I'm healthy. I can do any activity, really. I'm just super blessed that my transplant has been really well. I know there's other people that suffer when they get transplants because there's always that possibility of rejection. I really haven't had any complications at all. I've had 2 beautiful children. For easy pregnancies, I'm just extremely blessed, and I try to just live every day to its fullest. Every day is another chance to make someone smile.